And welcome to Metagame Minute. I'm your host, Dash Thompson. And we left that last episode off quite cliffhanger. We got a little floating island apparently. And
let's get us into
what?
This is going to be easy.
Fun stuff. So let's go around the horn. Let's start a little bit different this time. Let's start with Milo. Milo, it didn't seem like Ball wanted to be involved in any way with Sanj. You were like a child of a noble family.
Yeah.
Ones who were probably ruling the city. And we're just here like, yeah, whatever you want, man. Sure. Let's hang out.
Yeah. Ball works for like a huge prestigious college. He deals with a lot of noble people and has a lot of interactions with rich folk and their children, and he would be very aware that parents of especially rich people are really protective. So he was not having Sanj being there at all.
Yeah, you definitely would you say your character in no way really wanted to deal with this bird?
He is very concerned about what's going on in the mansion.
Right.
Yeah, it says no water, and if this is something that they were like unable to kill, like Zephyrus's parents were like unable to kill or something like that,
yeah,
it must be a pretty powerful thing, and the like imagery of it drawing the water to it is definitely very concerning.
What do you think it is?
Yeah, it doesn't smell anything good.
Can't be anything good.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Red. Zephyrus, we could now have the favor of a noble kid, right?
Yeah, the moment he comes in and he's like talking about, he's like, I order you as a lord. I was like, here's where Zephyrus shines.
Yeah.
Just letting like rich, pompous jerks just blow wind all day and just taking it. I mean, that's like the exact type of place like Zephyrus was raised up in, is this place where rich jerks just get to talk all day and think that the sun shines out of their asshole. And,
would you say that when Zephyrus saw this kid and once you understood kind of who and what he was, would you say Zephyrus's wheels have started turning about a possible future, schemes and plans and plots?
Oh, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. Like, when I realized that a kid was like trying to flex his lord muscles on us, I was like, oh, dude, here's a chance right now. I immediately went into manipulation mode, and then he was like, you can have my favor. And I was like, even better. And dessert.
You were like, oh, great.
And with the hidden entrance to the castle that Riff led on.
Right, yeah. I thought
that was hilarious.
I thought that was hilarious. Zephyrus would never hurt a child. Like, that's like definitely was like written in black and white, like in his code of like he never wants to hurt a child if he can avoid it.
Yeah.
I guess like an 11, 12-year-old, like apparently there's some of those that are adults in the world. So do with that what you will. But
yeah, I guess. Yeah, adults.
But yeah, like taking advantage of them, that's for sure. Like as soon as he was there and talking about that, I was all over that. So
okay. Caleb, Scory, how are you feeling after this last episode? How'd you feel about this kid situation we got going on? Or are you pretty indifferent to like nobility?
Nobility doesn't impress me, but I do have a bit of a soft spot for kids. And that's kind of part of the reason why Scory's on the run. So,
what? What the fuck?
He said that, and all I could hear was like a friggin' ice cream truck in the back.
Yeah.
The reason I'm on the run is my soft
spot for children.
Scory's a red dot on the world map.
Yeah. All right. Well, we got to get rid of a member.
Let's say I'm on a database.
Luckily, we got a good prison.
Jesus. No, but
I honestly thought you meant like you probably saved somebody or didn't execute some kid, but I saw everybody else's like eyebrows just go up.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. He's not a pedo.
That's good you clarified. So, would you say then that the reason why you're on the run is because you got involved because maybe like a kid was being enslaved or something like that, and you went out of your way to help like a child.
Something akin to that, yeah. And
this is metagame. Just drop the truth.
Just drop the truth. None of our characters have
No, Caleb likes to play all character secrets close to the vest.
Okay, why are you always keeping your character secrets even from the players?
Because
it doesn't make sense. Because like we don't care.
Part of the fun of all of this is learning your guys' backstories.
Gotcha.
Playing a game, and as I discover more about you, that's the exciting thing for me. And so I want to play into that. And so I want you guys to not know everything about them. So
that makes sense.
There's surprises that intrigue.
Nice.
And enthrall.
Okay. Well, hey, that's legit. Bentley Rafirian, did you because of your soft spot for kids,
absolutely
mine, but
for other kids, it seemed like there for a second you kind of started to go, I think I fucked up, because you were like, this is not good.
Yeah, for sure. Like the second that I only assumed that kid was going to be some sort of pain in the ass. Like me as a player, I was like, I'm walking into something where this kid is gonna get fucked up, or he's gonna do something that triggers something, or worst case scenario, he dies, and now we've got to deal with like lords and ladies. Like I was actually,
we're gonna weekend at Bernie's it.
Yeah, I was way more concerned actually that the kid was gonna die once the Kenku was like, or
necromancer.
Yeah, exactly. Like once with the colorful bird coming at him. So that's why I was like, let's get out of here. But then also I wanted to engage Mr. Wolf in battle because I want to see him beat up this bird.
Now, would you say that this is probably, at least from what I could tell, this is probably the first time I've seen Riff from the character's perspective realize they're in over their head, because I don't think I've seen Riff really experience like they're out of their element or out of their depth. Like your character is very much just like, I do this, whatever, like, but this is like the first cognizant where you went like, uh-oh.
I actually, it's the second, because when I was battling that dwarf or whatever, and he fucking halved my life, that was the first time, because I was like, that's the first time I took damage. This time I think it was more like, I would never be like, I'm not worried about the fight really, like with my team here.
Right.
I was worried the second that like this kid, this bumbling dum-dum, like, I've got two, here's some metagame in it for you. I've got 2 swear words Riff is going to start using, and one is calling people bookbenders and the other is calling people Muppet hands.
Okay.
So I was looking at this fucking dumb bookbender falling over in the water and dropping my staff, and then like I was like, shit, you're right, 100%. I was like, well, I may have just killed royalty, and that's not gonna bode well for us at the competition tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, I was speaking not necessarily in over your head, like in like a fight. I meant in over your head, in like
consequences,
via
100%.
your
life
antics,
choices.
right?
100%.
Like your choices have clearly, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think you've really ever come back to connect with the group in a situation like this. I feel like,
well, it's because I've always succeeded, so I was like, what they don't know can't hurt them.
You handle
I did kind of like the idea of like, all right, look, we're kind of in trouble, but instead of going to your parents, we're gonna go to my parents.
Exactly. I went to the people that I know will help kick ass, rather than the people that I know specifically told me don't take their kid to visit these fucking dangerous creatures.
And then you took their kid. Yeah.
Well, he would have gone without me, and my fear was if he went without me, he'd be dead. If
certainly.
Yeah, like just as an audience member, like I feel like your hands are clean of whatever, because he was like, I'm definitely going with or without you.
Yeah,
so, like you kind of,
and that'll be my defense. Like if mommy and daddy get mad at me, but
I really like that.
But that's a very astute observation. Yeah, the outside of damage wise, this is the first time where I was like, retreat is the best option. Like gone
beyond. I also like that you prefaced Bookbender with the F word.
Oh yeah. I'm going back and forth between realms here.
I didn't even notice because I swear so much. So
from Thrax's perspective, he sees this kid as like someone who has strength in all the wrong areas, because that's how he views the world. Is like this kid is like, oh, I can't take care of myself, like I'm not a fighter. And then to Wolf, he's like, well, that won't do. That's you got to learn how to fight.
Let me sharpen a stick for you, bud.
I did like that. You were like, well, just 3 months every day, 8 hours a day.
Yeah, I can
until you get to level 1.
We'll be good.
make you somewhat competent in the martial realm.
3 installments of $19.99 in gold.
Yeah. Now to our DM. With this episode, were you expecting us to go after this bird? And how long have you had this bird planted?
I mean,
planned?
This bird has been like I knew some confrontation was going to happen with this bird at some point. So I've been kind of excited about it. And as a kind of visual in the metagame minute, this is some odd Kenku coatl hybrid thing. Is what it is.
I just imagine
like
the Fruit
snake.
Loops bird.
Yeah, the Fruit Loops bird, but like if it worshipped Cthulhu.
Nice.
Now you're talking.
I was kind of imagining, like a Cthulhu Kevin from Up. If you guys remember the bird Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
It's kind
Like
of
a weird chicken thing, but less snake-like than the coatl is, and much darker.
Yeah.
Did Riff pressing in on the Kenku thing kind of push up your timeline for whatever this is?
I would say so. Yeah.
Oh, Riferian.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
I also really enjoyed just the, like, when I came into the house, I enjoyed all that RP, like, going back and forth. I like chaos a lot, so I thought it was fun to be like, no, the rich kid will be fine. What's going on in the basement? And then kind of like figuring that out, like, what, before we sign off here, like, let's go around sorry, Dash, I'm taking over the metagame minute.
No, you're fine.
Let's all, what are we all thinking briefly is in the basement? Because me as a player, I don't know, and definitely me as a character, I have no idea. And I thought the simplest explanation, which is what I think I said, which is use mold earth to stop up the hole we made from digging outside, and then it should be good. But Dash, what are you thinking?
I have no idea. It's probably something really powerful and big, or it's some big
water?
family. Huh?
And it likes water?
Yeah. So I mean,
like Cthulhu.
I mean, if it's closed off and like water can't get to it, and if it does, then we're screwed. That sounds like something that can travel via water, as in like maybe transform itself. So maybe it's been imprisoned in a very specific way. So that's what I'm thinking. Unless it's like something that's so old and dead that like water will revitalize it. I don't know. That's just what I was thinking.
Oh, like what's his ass in the vampire movies with Kate Beckinsale, where all the water, the blood goes in the floor.
Underworld. Yeah.
Underworld. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool.
Ball, what are you
Caleb?
thinking? Milo?
Oh, jeez.
Oh, geez.
What are you thinking is down there?
Clash.
Yeah.
Because you were the one that, like, you had the most brushback, not only against my royal friend, but against, like, we need to fix the cracks in the foundation.
Yeah, like I said, it's in this mansion that was owned by famous monster hunters, and they couldn't kill it, and it's in prison down there. It must be something really bad. That's all I can think.
Zephyrus, your parents were what's his ass from?
Those weren't my parents.
Or your family lineage. It was what's the wizard in the Grindelwald movie or whatever? Fantastic Beasts, like that kind of stuff. Zephyrus, what do you think is down there, based off of your your undying knowledge of Elvish?
Right, yeah, exactly. All the Elvish that I speak. Actually, Zephyrus hates Elvish as a language, so he never bothered to learn it. There's some metagame minute for you. No,
Too prosy for you?
Yeah, I couldn't help but keep drawing a parallel. It's funny because I was telling Dash on Facebook about some books today, and I was thinking about the Dresden Files, and like as the books progress, you find out that like Dresden sort of like develops this bond with this island, of which turns out to be a prison for like ancient beings, or even like outside, like Lovecraftian outsider beings or whatever. and like the magic that contains him is like super powerful, and he kind of like becomes like responsible for that. And I kept thinking like, oh Jesus, like I just walked into this place and I kind of became responsible for this mansion, and like there's a prison underneath of it, and like all this talk of water and all of these things. I was like, it's Cthulhu, it's gotta be, or something, I don't know. But
what if it's just a giant gremlin?
Or it's just like, it's just a big gremlin, or like, it's like, don't give it water. It's just like a dried out like dolphin or something. I don't know, but they had no idea what it was.
Dried out dolphin.
Yeah, But that's kind of where my mind keeps going. Is like, like maybe Lovecraftian monster being that can't get out. Maybe if I can kind of puff into air and escape. Dash's thing about the water made me think about like maybe they can puff into water like that and escape. Maybe they're like related to Genasi or something in a way. I don't think water Genasi can do that, but you know what I mean. That was an interesting parallel.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't put it past Alex to craft his own thing that would have that ability.
Well, yeah, the bird thing is his own thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Scory, what do you think with all of your knowledge of ferreting around down there?
Weaseling.
Dude, I don't know, man. But I am. Scory's more interested in what's going on in the basement than the bird, but he's riding deep with the crew, and he's a little nervous to head back to the Kenku because that was not a good encounter last time he went. He thought he was master of the domain, but turned out to be quite the opposite. So. He's kind of taking a back seat of this one.
Yeah. And Alex, what do you think is in the basement?
I'm thinking it's probably like the inside out version of all of you guys.
Oh,
that's my guess.
Like our own dark side cave down there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet.
It's fun knowing what it is, and you guys don't get to know yet.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. I love that. Yeah, well, that's been Metagame Minute. I have been your temporary host, Dash, and it's been a lot of fun. Grab your swords and keep on adventuring, you pieces of garbage. Bye.